Before the release of RuPaul's memoir, The House of Hidden Meaning, this month the legendary drag icon opened up about his concerns regarding the world's trajectory in a candid chat with journalist Ronan Farrow. Expressing fear of an impending civil war, Ru revealed plans for a fortified compound on his Wyoming ranch with husband Georges LeBar. However, not everyone was sipping the tea quietly. Lady Bunny, Ru's longtime friend, slammed him for his involvement in fracking while preaching about climate change. Bunny's social media posts on RuPaul's hypocrisy is gaining huge traction on Instagram. Lady Bunny says RuPaul is destroying the planet. What are we all talking about? I had no idea that RuPaul and his husband owned that much land in Wyoming and that they were fracking like that.
Huge. This has been a problem for RuPaul, for a long time now. And fracking, has a detriment to our environment. It causes all types of problems with groundwater and stuff like that. And so...
why fracking? So fracking is what? Forced cracking of...
into the ground, and then it allows for drilling for oil.
Okay.
And so that's how people make a lot of money.
And then that can cause things like little earthquakes and stuff like that, right?
Right. And it deteriorates the runoff water from the ground.
Okay.
So it destroys the local community's water supplies.
Oof.
And so the local communities often are the ones that suffer the most from, fracking.
Wow. No, so I had no idea that Ru was a part of it. Or better yet, not even better yet, it's his husband who that got passed down to him, or he got that in some inheritance of some sort.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's still Ru's because it's Ru's husband, right?
Yeah, so I think the challenge here is, I love Ru. Everybody loves Ru, of course, but you can't preach about climate change on one hand and then going off of fracking on the other hand. That's very tough. That's very tough to reconcile.
But Ed, aren't we all guilty of that? We all, we try to recycle and do all that kind of stuff. But then it's styrofoam's on sale. Shit's expensive.
That's true. Yeah, that's to an extent, right? But do we do anything that will potentially cause an earthquake in the community?
No, we don't,
or destroy, the runoff water?
No, we don't. Okay. We don't do that.
Tough. That's really tough.
And look at Lady Bunny. Lady Bunny is Ru's longtime friend, and she's like, bitch, I'm calling you out.
I'm checking you, bitch. What are you doing?
And on IG. On.
What? Let's go. Stop doing this shit.
Where's Al Gore in all this? Shouldn't he be
I forgot about Al Gore.
How could you forget about him?
Al Gore.
Can you, do you remember way back when he was the only one screaming about this and everybody was just looking at him like he was crazy, Ed?
Yeah, and look at it. Yeah, it's real. Climate change is real.
Listen, we live in South Florida, right? And just a few months ago, it was 40 degrees. Okay, take that in. Most people here are not ready. They can't deal with anything under 70 degrees.
Right.
Okay, so take that in. That is global warming.
And think about this year in comparison to last year. I remember this year we never had any rain until April, maybe May or June or something like that.
Yeah, for spring.
For spring. Now we have rain all year long. Now.
Yes,
it's kind of crazy.
Yes. It's real. And that's global warming.
That's global warming.
Or you go up to New York and it's 50 degrees.
Listen, I'm like,
in the winter.
My sister was outside one day, with a tank top on. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, no, it's 60 degrees here. She's like, I'm out running with the kids. I'm like, what? 60 degrees in New York?
Yeah.
I'm so used to it being below 2 degrees, freezing.
But again, that's climate change.
That's climate change.
So do you think that Ru has to or should, donate a shit ton of money to someone? Or, because he's having, they'll do, RuPaul's Drag Race shows, and they'll be like, okay, we're going to do this for climate change. We're going to do to support this. But then not behind closed doors because it's public knowledge.
That's right. I think a couple of things, right? I think Ru should think about the local community that he and his husband is impacting, and think about setting up a foundation where the foundation supports, clean water in the local community, and it's a rainy day fund just in case an earthquake does happen, small, and that it impacts people locally, right? Small earthquakes can have settlement to your ground, and it could uproot your foundation.
Yeah.
So that fund could be able to support that local community if things like that should happen. And then I think on a global scale, there should be more resources. They're making a shitload of money with all the land that they have and all the fracking that they're doing. then they should donate to like global organizations that are fighting climate change, right? And saying, yes, we're a part of it, but at the same token, on the other hand, we believe in supporting climate change, right? And supporting the world preparing for how our climate's changing. And then I think, moreover, I think that continue to support LGBTQ causes. Give more money to local organizations.
You've got it.
Listen, more money to local organizations doing God's work, right?
Seriously.
Community work.
Yeah, doing God's work. You heard that? God, big G-O-D. That's
G-O-D.
dog backwards,
That's
just
right.
so you know, okay? And he doesn't have like 1 acre. He has like 660 acres, okay? Like, you know, it's like, it's like
That's a ton of land.
a lot, okay? Like, you know, unfortunately, it's hard to look at RuPaul the same way after knowing this story. Am I still watching Drag Race? Hell to the yeah, okay? Top 5, bitches, top 5.
Am I gonna read the book? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But
Of course
still,
I am.
But still, I mean, I think it's always important that we be able to like love someone, but still hold them to high regard and have some criticism of them.
Yeah.
I did it to Obama. I'm a political scientist as well as a therapist, and I was a faculty member when Obama was president, and there was an issue at the border, and I wrote this Huffington Post article criticizing the guy that I worked on his campaign, right?
And that you
so,
loved.
that I
Yeah.
loved. So I think we should be able to do that to people like Ru as well. We should love them, appreciate them, watch everything, read everything, but hold them to high regard and criticize them when we need to hold them accountable.
Hold them to high regard. I think that's it. You know, they are responsible for that. It's true. You know, we give them all the love and luster because we believe in them. We also expect them to do the right thing.
Absolutely.